Start with the opening statement on the game.
Well, fresh off the field, got some some rain in the second half there, and like everything else that went on in that game, our kids handled it really well. Didn't matter what happened through that game. We were playing at a level where we were playing with confidence, and even when things went bad, they just played that next play, with focus. Their ability's there, but I'm impressed by the way that we came off the road, long trips, and we're able to dial in and focus on every play throughout this day. And I told them that after the game. I'm really impressed the way they're focusing and playing hard and playing together as a team.
Questions for Coach?
Darius had a season high in yards today. He played great. What would you like to say about his game today?
Really happy that he had that opportunity because he's done some really good things this year. It's just been a little bit in spurts, and he was consistent today in making plays and putting the ball where his guys can go get it. So I'm happy. I was waiting for this for him because I know he's a talented quarterback. And, we've had some challenges. We've been on the road. We've been playing some tough defenses. So I'm happy for him. He's been working hard. He's a leader. He's a team captain. And it paid off for him today on the field.
It's no secret how much this opponent loves to rush the football and how accomplished they are at doing so. Just how important was it being intense in the gaps and just finding ways to find counters and stops?
Boy, our guys really were. And they played team defense. Give a lot of credit to the defense staff for preparing our guys, and our guys working hard on it because they use multiple formations, motions, shifts, and the RPO game, which is always tough to defend. I thought our guys did a really good job on defense, playing team defense, playing your gap, and then rallying to the football. It's quite impressive.
It's easy to mention the two-headed monster on the ground today. Just how much would you like to compliment the offensive line, something that you had some questions about going into the season, just really stepping up today?
Well, I know our running backs had a good statistic day here, but I could tell on the field they were running hard, and we got to give the credit for Darius and our running backs to the offensive line. They're really playing solid right now, doing a nice job. It paid off for them today because I think when we needed to run the ball, they were able to do that. And they played some guys in the box. We knew they were going to go some zero coverage and play some guys in the box. We took advantage, Darius and the receivers took advantage of that, but also we had to churn out some first downs against an extra guy, and they did a good job.
Coach, Central Connecticut State, they played three quarterbacks throughout the whole season. This time they played Jenner today, and he only threw for 127. What was your key, knowing that any of them could have started at QB? What was your game plan for him to not have as much success?
I think the key was the pressure that we got. He didn't have much time. He had to go through his reads real quick. And that kind of pressure, too, helped with the RPO game, getting up the field. He had to make a really quick decision. So I think that kept him hesitant. And that front line and some of the blitzes, coming off the edge, really pressured him into making quick decisions, and it paid off for us.
Darius, also, not just, you mentioned, of course, what he's able to do through the air, but more so just getting the deep ball established and recognizing that the defense wasn't turning around on the corners. Just how opportunistic do you think your team was today, realizing those things?
Yeah, I think he did a good job. I love the way our receivers right now are working hard and competing and going. He knows they'll go get the ball, so he can put it in an area for them and they'll go get it. And I think that they're starting to develop. I talked last week about the lack of timing at times at Delaware. I think our timing's getting better, and then like you said, he can get the ball out there and they can go get it, and they're developing that. So we still got a lot of work to do to keep getting better. But those guys should enjoy today. They deserve the victory today.
How important do you think it is with both your running backs getting over 100 yards and Darius skying the ball? From the first half, you had a big focus on the passing game. In the second half, you changed up for the run. How important do you think it is to have that multi-dimensional offense going down the stretch with all conference games?
Yeah, it's huge to be able to have that balance, and it's kind of the way we've really always been here, tried to be here, and personnel groups change, and I think it's really important for us to establish both, and I think we have here, through the last couple weeks. And it's going to be important because sometimes you get games like this, where we were fortunate it wasn't so bad in the first half, but if it's coming down weather-wise, you might have to limit what you do with the ball in the air. And to be able to get our offensive line, our tight ends deserve credit too. Quan and Logan are doing a really good job understanding the scheme, because we move them around a little bit, get them at different places. But what you say is really important. I'm happy where we are. I give our guys credit. Now we'll keep getting better in that run-pass balance.
How impressed were you with Taj understanding the not being able to necessarily come in last week, and just how he was able to come in and just really channel his energy in such a positive contribution?
What's really nice that we have the luxury right now of 3 pretty good backs. And so last week when Taj, was hurting a little bit, and we just felt it was better to rest the thing and give it more time because the other 2 could go. And the same thing happened today. Eddie was nursing an ankle from last week. We didn't know, it was day to day. I mean, he's getting workout in Thursday, Friday, but we weren't even sure. He obviously went out and had some good runs today. But then at one point, we just felt, where he was, we were going to finish with the other 2 guys, and we were able to do that. So really happy for Taj. He's works really hard. His mental part of the game, his preparation is awesome. And he prepared his body for the last 2 weeks. He got treatment every single day so that he could play at this level today. And his mental part is really good for being a new guy in our system.
And could you talk about Teddy, a career high receiving yards for him today, just with the growth that he's shown from week 1, getting a couple targets to just knowing the routes and knowing when to pull down the ball?
So happy for him because he works really hard, and took him some time to get the system done. And as any new guys, we do a lot of things. We ask those guys to play a lot of different positions as receivers, and we move them and motion them, and the better you know that, the better you can play and help our team. And he's been working through that the first couple weeks, and he's starting to play with real confidence. And I tell these guys, they're talented kids. Just get the execution part, the mental part, and they're all working to do that. So I'm really happy for him. It's paying off the work that he does. He practices really hard, does a really good job.
Coach, even though your team won by 24, I'm looking at the penalties, and obviously you guys had 11, but there was also some, like I can remember from at the end of the first half, and you could have even extended the lead even more, but it kept going you back. What do you think about the penalties that happened today? Turn it down in the future?
Well, it's 24 hours. We're going to enjoy and celebrate this, but I already got in my mind, in the back of my mind, some of the things, I'm not going to talk about right now with our guys, but we're going to get on that because I was not happy. Talked to Tad at halftime. I was not happy. I'm not saying even the point scored. It was the way we went about that last couple minutes and played that last couple minutes, and part of it was the penalties, and they were controllable by us. Sometimes you're making physical plays running and things happen. Those are mental. You're telling me it's 11. I didn't look here, but that's way too many, for us to have in a football game, and they're controllable ones.
And you kept throughout this interview, you talked about mental aspects. I mean, you haven't been at home for like 5 weeks, 4 consecutive times. You guys, 4 road games, like that's only like the second time your team's ever done that. How does it feel to finally just get back in Rooney and get the players to like just feel like, okay, we're finally back at home after going all this back and forth week in and week out?
I think when we got home last Saturday night at 1 o'clock in the morning, we all breathed a big sigh of relief that we were now going to be at home this week and prepare. And it just is a comfort level after all those travel weeks that we just felt good about preparing ourselves and knowing. Actually, we came off the field Thursday, and somebody jokingly said, "What time's the bus leave tomorrow?" And everybody laughed, because we didn't have to. We could, get our work done in the office, and the players could relax at home here. We had our normal, team meal on Friday night here, not in a hotel. It just had so much comfort to us, and it allowed us to relax and play our best football.
All right.